Conscious capitalism, make it count. Ten years ago, I was a chaplain and miserable. My life was spiraling deeper and deeper into a darkness that had no bottom. I was scared all the time. I'd be with patients that were dying, and after they died and the family left, and before the undertaker came, I'd sit with a body. And it became so clear that this body will be like that body sooner or later. Between now and then, what's important? So I didn't have a strong answer to that question. But 8 years ago, I was in Dharamsala, India, practicing with the Tibetans, doing a 3-month-long retreat, reciting a mantra that's 100 syllables long, 100,000 times. That's a lot of work, 8 to 10 hours a day. So it's towards the end of this retreat when I have about 82,000 mantras on my mala, 18,000 to go when we have a small audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And one of the first things he says is, I did the same retreat as you. Only 60,000? Mantra is not so important. What is important is to transform your mind. I heard that so clearly, like a bell ringing in an empty sky. All my energies marshaled and galvanized behind that idea, and I would go to meditate because I knew that's what it meant for me to transform my mind. It wasn't drugs, and it wasn't psychotherapy, and it wasn't sex, and it wasn't community service. Maybe meditation would help. So I heard that Burma was the place to go. I was set. I was ready. Where's Burma? 7.8 years ago, I was doing intensive practice in the monasteries of Burma, and I realized I need help. Practicing meditation intensively was the best thing I'd ever done. It was becoming like the pearl of great price for me, but it was hard. And I thought that becoming a monk might help me with this process. So I took the robes, and I abided by the 227 precepts as best I could. I remember meeting a Vietnamese monk who had been around my age. He'd been a monk for over 20 years, and he said, I'm not a very good monk, but I'm a happy monk. I said, me too, that's it, that's me. Because I was already learning that a thought is just a thought. And that a negative mind state is just a negative mind state. It's not reality, and it's not who I was. More and more, as the negativity dissolved, the sense of joy and peace became more and more apparent. 4 years ago, I was sitting by the window at 3 o'clock in the morning, listening to the crickets sing. They were singing a love song. The trees at the edge of the meadow were waving in the breeze, and I could feel the trees smiling. The starlight was coming down. I could feel it touch my body, and it was the light of love. The whole universe was appearing to me like one great flow, one great stream of love, of goodness that had no opposite, a goodness that included bad. I felt like I was connected to all the shamans and all the holy people and all the people who knew what's truly in their heart throughout time and throughout cultures. And I felt the invitation of the universe to join this process, to contribute to this goodness and flow. Accepting that invitation was the happiest moment of my adult life so far. 2 years ago, my father was dying. I didn't want to leave my hermitage, but it felt perhaps that this is the call back, return to the world. So 1 year ago, I realized that being a happy monk, being a happy hermit, was no longer the challenge. The challenge for me is to be an ordinary man with loving kindness, with joy, and bringing forth the things that I learned in the cave, in the hermitage, and in the monastery. So 8 months ago, I met the chairman of the agency that won the advertising agency of the decade, Crispin, Porter, and Bogusky, not too far from here in Gun Barrel. Alex Bogusky was concerned that what was happening in advertising wasn't good. There's a whole quality of intention that could be uplifted. And he thought that bringing mindfulness into the agency would help the employees work better together and be part of the message that it gave out to the world. Because after all, CPB, Crispin, Porter, and Bogusky, is $1 billion a year loudspeaker to the world. It has an effect, and Alex wanted to use that effect well. So a week ago, I found myself 7 months into working with the different students or the different employees at Crispin, Porter, and Bogusky, helping them learn to listen, helping them learn to quiet and calm their minds, helping them learn to open and enhance their hearts, helping them learn to respect their bodies. This is news for some of them. Some of them desperately need it. And many of them are finding some more ways to be happy and let that happiness ripple out to others in their workplace. So 10 minutes ago, I'm standing in the corner, a little nervous, because I feel like I have a message for you that's so dear to my heart that I want to present it in a way that you will hear me. I want to help bring mindfulness, bring awareness of our bodies and our minds and our hearts into the classrooms, into the workplace, and into the corporate boardrooms where decisions are made that affect all of us and our planet. The more we can be in touch with ourselves, the more we'll be in touch with that basic goodness that has no opposite, and we will make decisions that are good for all of us. When? This world is a beautiful place. There are so many opportunities to explore and offer your kindness. Who knows how long you'll be alive? Find out what's important and follow through. When? Thank you.